The question is proposed. I recognize Honorable Member Mr. Bassett Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Honorable Prime Minister, why these two commissions are in one, under one head, when they are separate, provided for by the Constitution?
I'm not so sure that this is a proper question for this area, but the answer is that there are two separate commissions and one secretariat.
That's not properly answered, is it? Now, could the Honorable follow up, Mr. Chairman? Could the Honorable Prime Minister indicate the separate staff board commission?
My understanding is that there are two bodies of commissioners and they are served by one secretariat.
Could the Honorable Prime Minister say, in relation to the provision for the statutory wages and salaries, whether the commission is constituted, what is the situation with respect to that? Is the salary the same? So, why therefore the provisioning?
I'm advised by the member from the Secretariat that they are awaiting the appointment of the commission members of the commission.
Mr. Chairman, could the Minister, again in relation to this, the Prime Minister, sorry, could the Honourable Prime Minister indicate in relation to these items, dealing with salaries from 611 down, which members of staff that they catered for here will be dealing with which set of matters? Is it that all members of the Secretariat are dealing with Public Service Commission and Police Service Commission? There's no division of skills or labor involved?
I'm advised that 1611 makes provision for the payment of all the members of the two commissions, and 1612, if you were to ask, makes provisions for the benefits. Benefits for all.
Honorable Member Mrs. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, to the Honorable Prime Minister, like item 64. Prime Minister, would you kindly tell us how many buildings there are?
One building, and it's actually a part of the building, shared.
Thank you, Mr. Prime Minister. Mr. Chair, like item 6272, given the fact that it's one building and it's shared, could the Honorable Prime Minister kindly indicate why this steep increase for electricity charges?
same provision that was put for 2013 that is being repeated here. And I understand, I'm advised they have their own meter. They have their own meter.
Honorable Member, Mr. Keeling.
Thank you very much, sir. 6281, we know that the building, it's one building in the same compound, but there's a 100% increase requested in 2014. Can the Honorable Prime Minister please advise us what 6281 I said? Could the Honorable Prime Minister please advise?
I'm advised that payment is made here for one security, which is in the area of the commissioners, and that this relates to the same increase in rates for security personnel.
Honorable members, I believe I can put the question, and that is that we approve the sum sought for Program 091 Public and Police Service Commissions. Current expenditures goes in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those say no, the ayes have it. Thank you. Please turn to page 421. And I propose your consideration Program 091 Capital Expenditures Public and Police Service Commission. Commissions. Honorable members, I put a question, and that is,
Line item 2500, purchase of furniture and equipment, 2.5 million. Can we have an indication as to what sort of furniture and equipment will be purchased?
Yes, we have a list there. One binding machine, 2 guillotines, 3 air conditioning units, 4 filing cabinet, desk, water dispenser, table, fan.
thank you. Honorable members, I will put the question, and that is that we approve the sum sought for the capital expenditures for Program 091. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those against say no, the ayes have it. Thank you. These form part of the estimate. Please turn, honorable members, to pages 70 and 71. I'd like to thank the staff for assisting the Prime Minister and the House in the consideration of those estimates. Please turn, members, to pages 70 and 71. Then you're alone, sir. Sir, you're alone on this one? Mr. Kandar? Yeah, please indicate when you're ready. I recognize Mr. Bassi Williams. You ready, Pierre?
Yes,
Mr. Bassi Williams?
yes. Contracted employees. Could you give us a designation of these employees under 6616? 61.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, there's a system analyst, personal assistant to the chairman, confidential secretary, electronic data processing officer 1, clerk 2G, clerk 2G, clerk 2G, accounts clerk 2, receptionist, typist clerk 1, records clerk, driver mechanic, typist clerk, secretary TSC.
Follow up, Mr. Chairman. Now, these commissions, when they're not saying that they only have a life of 3 years, all the employees on contract, they're employed for the duration of that particular term of years with the commission?
Membership lasts for 3 years.
Does anybody answer the question?
Yes, yes, I stand advised by my colleagues, the Honorable Attorney General. The commission stands forever. The commissioners are appointed from time to time.
Mr. Chairman, I won't make any comment, but my question related to the staff who are contracted employees. I'm saying if the duration of the contract is coincident with the life of the commission. There's a problem of density on it.
I'm advised that the practice is
All members, could I hear the
every
practice?
year with an option to renew.
Year to year.
Honorable Member Ms. Lawrence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, line item 6261. Honorable Prime Minister, I know that the staff decreased from 42 to 36, yet I know that the travel and subsistence went up by $1 million. Could you tell the House why?
Can I ask what number you're focusing on again? There seem to be two numbers. 6261 applies to the commissioners, the members of the commission.
Mr. Chair, to the Honorable Prime Minister. Prime Minister, can you say why the commission was in place last year?
I'm advised yes.
Mr. Chair, the Honorable Prime Minister, 6281. The Prime Minister indicated why the large increase for security services. Are we going to have more sites, or are we going to have more security guards?
I'm advised it is to conform with the recent minimum order.
How many sites are there, Mr. Chair, to the Honorable Prime Minister, and how many security guards we're talking about? How many were there in 2013, and how many we're expected to have in 2014?
Advised that one building is secured, and police guard service, no change in numbers of persons.
Honorable Mr. Felix, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Line item 6255. Maintenance of other infrastructure. A request of 1.3 million. In the context of the Kitchen Service Commission, could the Honorable Prime Minister say what constitutes other infrastructure?
Maintenance of external works, in particularly the fence and grounds.
Fence and grounds.
Honorable Member, Mr. Brilliant, sir.
Yes, Mr. Speaker, could the Prime Minister help us? I'm a little puzzled as to the actual status of the commission. Could he name us the current commissioners when they were appointed?
They are Ms. Ramson as chairperson, Mr. Monroe is vice chair, Mr. Kendall, and Mr. Maida Prasad. There were 2 deceased in the last year, but the quorum is still made.
Some members,
No, sir.
sorry.
I was wondering whether you would permit me just to have a follow-up on 6255. Because I would like to, for the Prime Minister to clarify for me that I heard him correctly saying other infrastructure means lands for the Teaching Service Commission. Lands? Which ground? Because the Teaching Service Commission is next to Brigham Police Station, just across the road. No grounds, no land.
There's a bridge. There's a bridge. There's a bridge. I told there's a bridge. There's a bridge.
There's got to be a very small bridge, PM.
Honourable members, may I put the question? I believe I can. Members, I put the question that we approve the sum salt for the current expenditures for the Teaching Service Commission Program 101. Those in favor say aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. Please turn your attention to program 101 capital expenditures to be found at page 422 for the Teaching Service Commission. Thank you. Other members, I will put the question, and that is that we approve the sum sought for the capital expenditures for the Teaching Service Commission. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those against say no. The ayes have it. Thank you. That concludes our review of this commission. Thank you very much, Mr. Kandai. However, I just thought I would just for my own investigations, to say that indeed last year we did have public and police service commissions coming together as one. So it is not a new, it is not just for this year that this is happening. Members, please turn to pages 74 and 75 as we consider the current and capital expenditures for the Ghana Elections Commission. Welcome Mr. Lowenfield. Congratulate him on his recent appointment as election officer, sir. PM will indicate when he is ready to proceed. Pages 74 and 75 the current expenditures. As soon as PM indicates, Ms. Ali rather is ready to go. First,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, 6284 Other. Could the Honorable Minister explain what is contained in this line item?
Yes. Demarcation and voters' education.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. Mr. Chairman, follow up for the Honorable Prime Minister say how much will be spent on demarcation and how much will be spent on voters' education.
$100 million on voters' education and $3.5 million on demarcation.
Follow up, Mr. Chairman. Could the Honorable Prime Minister say what will be the aspects of the voter education under this head?
Continuous registration and preparatory work for local government elections. Those are the public.
Mr. Chairman, is that the only aspect of voter education for this $100 million?
The local government elections as presently envisaged entail some 585 constituencies, and we think that there is a great need for voter education into these, with respect to these constituencies. They are to be put up on billboards and flyers so that people will know which constituencies they're in, that sort of thing.
Thank you, Honorable Prime Minister. That's why I asked what aspects of the training voter education will be done. Mr. Chairman, 6294, other again. Noting that 6284, a large sum, and now again under other operating expenses, other again carries a very large amount. Could the Honorable Prime Minister explain what is provided for under this line item?
This is to cover payments to scrutineers and other staff during 7 months of continuous registration.
Now, hoping that we can give them. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, a follow-up. Is that the only expenditure that this amount of money will be used for? Payment of scrutineers?
And some overtime. Some overtime for staff I see here listed. And some temporary staff also, drivers, registration clerks, encoders, verifiers, handymen, some $20 million of that. Overtime is, some of the regular staff will be asked to work overtime. I see $43.8 million that is assigned to that.
Just finally, Mr. Chairman, is that the full list where, for this amount of money that is to be used?
There's some other things here, smaller things, uniform, usual staff retreat, and so on. Work study attachment, payment for that.
May I ask, Mr. Chairman, that the Honorable Prime Minister lay over a list of these items and the amounts that will be paid for each item? Thank you. May I proceed, sir?
Please.
6302 training. Can I ask the Honorable Prime Minister who will be trained?
This is basically refresher training for staff for every cycle of continuous registration. And managers also are trained.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, for clarification purposes, refresher, staff for registration cycle. Are you talking about the ROs, AROs, clerks, etc.?
Every time there is another cycle, they reflect on the experiences they had in the last and previous cycles, and they refresh people's minds so as to reduce errors.
May I ask follow-up, how many training sessions is envisaged for this 24 million?
There are 180 persons altogether, distributed quite widely across the country, and they're brought together at particular points for training. So there's a significant component in there too for transportation and, I guess, staying over at the point of training.
I recognize Mr. Ramsatan and then Mr. Greenwich and then Mr. Fields.
Many questions asked.
Mr. Greenwich, sir?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, just on 6294, I think, can the Honorable Prime Minister indicate to us whether the program for 2014 takes into consideration expenditure that might be required to implement any of the recommendations of the Parliament Advisory Group, which looked at some recommendations to make as regards division of labor between elections officer, commissioners, and some questions or declaration which I suspect may perhaps involve upgrading technology and so on.
Many of the issues are still under consideration. Some of the issues are being adopted and implemented.
Prime Minister, are you in a position to indicate, perhaps in broad terms, which of these might be in danger of being implemented this year or likely?